Turn your pain into power, the Ruthless Way, written and published by Stoic Guardian. Chapter 1. The Awakening, Feeling Your Pain, Finding Your Power. There comes a moment in life when the facade you've meticulously maintained begins to crumble. The smiles you wear become heavy, the laughter forced, and the silence between your thoughts grows louder. It's in this space, this quiet unraveling, that you begin to feel the weight of your suppressed emotions. The pain you've tucked away surfaces, demanding acknowledgement. This is the awakening, a pivotal point where you confront your pain not as an adversary, but as it whispers truths you've long avoided, urging you to listen, to feel, and to heal. Pain, often perceived as a burden, holds within it the seeds of transformation. It's a catalyst, pushing you to examine the parts of yourself that have been neglected or hidden. When you allow yourself to sit with your pain, to truly feel it without judgment, you begin to uncover layers of resilience and strength you never knew existed. It's in this raw vulnerability that you find authenticity, a return to your true self, unmasked and Imagine your pain as a storm. At first, it's overwhelming, with thunderous thoughts and torrential emotions. But as you brave the tempest, you start to notice the cleansing rain washing away the debris of past hurts. The winds, though fierce, clear the path ahead, and when the storm subsides, you're left with a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. This metaphor illustrates that by facing your pain head-on, you allow it to serve its purpose, to cleanse, to teach, and to transform. In this journey of awakening, it's essential to cultivate self-compassion. Recognize that healing isn't linear. There will be days of progress and days of regression, but each step, no matter how small, is a testament to your courage. Embrace practices that ground you, mindful breathing, journaling your thoughts, or simply sitting in stillness. These tools serve as anchors, keeping you centered as you navigate the waves of emotion. As you delve deeper into your pain, you may uncover limiting beliefs or narratives that no longer serve you. Challenge these stories. Ask yourself, are they true, or have they been imposed upon you by past experiences or external influences? By questioning and reframing these beliefs, you reclaim your narrative, allowing yourself to write a story rooted in empowerment and self-worth. It's also vital to seek connection during this time. While the journey inward is personal, sharing your experiences with trusted individuals can provide comfort and perspective. Whether it's through therapy, support groups, or heartfelt conversations with loved ones, expressing your feelings aloud can be incredibly cathartic. It reminds you that you're not alone, that others have walked similar paths and emerged stronger. As you continue this process, you will begin to notice subtle shifts. Moments of joy will feel more profound. Relationships will deepen, and your sense of self will strengthen. This is the power of awakening, transforming pain into a source of wisdom and strength. By embracing your pain, you unlock the door to a more authentic, empowered version of yourself. I honor my pain as a teacher and guide. Through it, I discover my strength, my resilience, and my true self. I am healing, growing, and awakening to my power. Chapter 2. The Ruthless Shift. Breaking free from the weight. There comes a time when you realize that carrying what no longer serves you is not a sign of strength. It's a silent anchor that keeps you rooted in the past. You've been taught that holding on is noble, that enduring the weight of old wounds proves your worth. But what if the most courageous thing you could do is to lay it all down? To break free from the weight that has kept you small, tired, and tangled in stories that were never meant to define you. This is the ruthless shift, the quiet decision to say, I will no longer carry what is not mine to hold. It's not about discarding your past or erasing what has shaped you. It's about refusing to let it dictate who you are becoming. In this chapter, you're not asked to be reckless. You're asked to be honest. Honest about what you've outgrown. Honest about what you're ready to release. Breaking free is not a single moment. It's a series of choices, each one a gentle rebellion against the patterns that have kept you stuck. You may feel resistance at first. Your mind will tell you it's easier to stay in the familiar, even if it hurts. But your heart will whisper something different. It will remind you that freedom is not found in comfort, it's found in truth. And the truth is, you are not here to be weighed down by the echoes of old pain. You are here to rise, to breathe deeper, to move through life with a softness that is no longer burdened by what doesn't belong to you. This ruthless shift is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration, I will not let the past steal my present. To break free, you must be willing to see the weight for what it is. Maybe it's the guilt you've carried for things you could never have controlled. Maybe it's the expectations of others etched into your skin like invisible tattoos. Maybe it's the fear that if you let go, you'll have nothing left to hold on to. But in the soft quiet of your own breath, you know the truth. What you're releasing is not your essence, it's the armor you put on to survive. And now, you're safe enough to take it off, to feel the lightness of your own being, without the layers of protection that no longer fit. To trust that you are enough without the weight. There is a tenderness to this process, even in its ruthlessness, because letting go is not about force, it's about permission, giving yourself permission to stop performing, to stop explaining, to stop apologizing for your own softness. It's about choosing presence over perfection. Choosing to live in the space between what was and what could be. In this space you find your breath again, you find the quiet pulse of your own heart, steady and true, and you realize that the power you've been searching for has always been within you. It was just hidden beneath the weight you were never meant to carry. As you release, you may feel moments of grief for what you're leaving behind. That's okay. Let it come. Let the tears be the river that carries away the remnants of what no longer belongs. Let the ache be the soft reminder that you are human, that healing is not a straight line, and that every breath you take in this new lightness is a testament to your resilience. You are not empty without the weight. You are spacious. You are open. You are ready to fill that space with what truly nourishes your soul. So today, let this truth settle into your bones. I am not here to carry what isn't mine. I am not defined by the weight of my past. I am free to choose what stays and what goes. And in that choice, I reclaim my life, breath by breath. This is the ruthless shift, soft, quiet, and undeniably powerful. And it's yours to make again and again until freedom feels like home. I release the weight of what no longer serves me. I honor my past, but I choose my present. I am light, I am free, and I am enough exactly as I am. Chapter 3. The Storm Within. How to Weather Your Emotions. There is a storm within you, sometimes fierce, sometimes silent. It's the whirlwind of emotions you've tried to keep locked away, the quiet ache that grows louder in the stillness of your thoughts. Fear, sadness, anger. These feelings rise like waves, crashing against the shores of your heart. You may have been taught to fear these storms, to see them as weaknesses to be conquered or hidden away, but what if you could see them differently? What if the storm within you is not your enemy, but your teacher? What if each wave, each gust of wind, is a message calling you home to yourself? In this chapter, you're invited to step into the eye of the storm, to find the calm that exists even when the world within you feels like it's spinning. It begins with breath, not the shallow breath that comes from bracing against the storm, but the deep, grounding breath that anchors you in the present. Feel it fill your lungs, steady and slow. Let it remind you, I am here, I am safe, I can weather this. The storm may be loud, but your breath is louder. It speaks of your resilience, your quiet power. Let each inhale be a gathering of strength, each exhale a soft release of what no longer belongs. This is how you stand in the center of your own chaos, not by pushing it away, but by letting it move through you, like rain cleansing the earth. When the storm feels too much, remember that you don't have to fight it. You don't have to fix it. You only have to feel it. Softly, gently, without judgment. Emotions are like weather patterns. They shift, they change, they pass. You are not the storm. You are the sky that holds it all, vast and unbreakable. In this space of stillness, you can learn to listen, to hear what the storm is trying to tell you, the fears you've buried, the grief you've carried, the love you're still learning to give to yourself. Listen without rushing to find answers. Listen with the same tenderness you would offer a friend, because your feelings are not failures. They are echoes of your own humanity, reminders that you are alive, awake, and real. As you weather this storm, let your body be your guide. Notice the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the heaviness in your limbs. These are the places where the storm has left its mark. Soften them. Offer them your breath, your patience, your presence. Let your body know that it is safe to let go. Let your heart know that it is safe to feel, and let your mind know that you don't have to have it all figured out to be okay. In the quiet aftermath of the storm, there is a softness waiting for you, a calm that doesn't come from control, but from acceptance, from the gentle knowing that you are stronger than any wave, that you are deeper than any ache. So today, let this be your quiet promise. I am not my emotions. I am the calm beneath them. I trust that even in the fiercest storm, there is a place within me that remains unshaken. Let that truth be your anchor. Let it be the light that guides you back to yourself, breath by breath, moment by moment, until the storm quiets and the sky clears once more. I trust the storm within me. I let it move through, knowing it will pass. I am the calm that holds it all. I am safe. I am whole. I am home. Chapter 4. The Alchemy of Anguish. Turning hurt into healing. Pain can feel like a heavy stone lodged in your chest, a weight you carry quietly, even as the world moves on around you. It's the echo of every hurtful word, every betrayal, every dream that didn't come to life the way you'd hoped. But here's the quiet truth. This pain, as heavy as it feels, can be transformed. Like a seed cracking open in the dark, your hurt can become the soil where healing grows. This is the alchemy of anguish, the gentle process of turning what once broke you into the very thing that rebuilds you. It doesn't happen all at once. It doesn't erase what happened. But slowly, breath by breath, you begin to see that even your deepest wounds can become the source of your greatest strength. It begins with permission. The permission to feel every raw edge of your pain without shrinking away from it, to let the tears come without apology, to let the ache settle in your bones and still trust that it does not define you. In this gentle permission, you start to see that your hurt is not a flaw, it's a part of your story. And when you stop judging it, stop trying to hide it, you create space for something new to bloom. You create space for healing, for softness, for a quiet kind of power that doesn't need to shout to be felt. This is the alchemy, choosing to see your pain not as a prison, but as a doorway to a deeper understanding of yourself, a doorway to a new beginning. The path of alchemy asks you to be patient with yourself. Healing is not linear, and it's not a destination. It's a gentle unfolding. Some days you will feel light, like the weight has finally lifted. Other days the ache will return, and you'll wonder if you've made any progress at all. But each breath you take, each moment you choose compassion over judgment, each time you refuse to let your hurt close your heart, That is the transformation. That is the alchemy. You are not erasing the pain. You are learning to hold it differently, to see it as a part of you, not the whole of you. As you move through this chapter, I invite you to imagine your pain as a river. At first, it feels like it will sweep you away. But if you learn to float with it, to trust its current, you begin to see that it can carry you somewhere new, somewhere softer, somewhere where you no longer have to fight the flow. Let the river of your hurt be the teacher that shows you how to release, how to soften, how to rise again. Let it remind you that you are not here to be defined by what hurt you. You are here to be defined by how you choose to heal. So today, let this quiet truth settle in your heart. My pain is not my end. It is the beginning of my healing. I honor it, I feel it, and I trust that even here, in the softness of my own breath, I am becoming whole again. I honor my pain as a teacher. I trust the process of healing. I am patient with my journey, and I know that every breath brings me closer to wholeness. Chapter 5. The Mirror of Strength. Reflecting on who you are becoming. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see only the weight of the past, the echoes of every doubt, every scar? Or can you begin to see something else, something quiet but unwavering? Strength isn't always loud. It doesn't always look like standing tall with your shoulders back and your head high. Sometimes it's found in the softest moments, in the way you breathe through the weight in your chest, in the way you keep showing up for yourself even when the world has stopped watching. The mirror of strength is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about reflecting back to yourself the quiet truth that even now, even in the midst of all you're holding, you are enough. This is a different kind of mirror, one that doesn't highlight your flaws, but honors your wholeness. One that doesn't measure your worth by how much you've done or how well you've performed. It sees beyond the noise of what you think you should be and into the calm of who you truly are. When you stand before this mirror, you are invited to see yourself with the same gentleness you offer to others, to soften the gaze that has been so harsh, to let the lines of worry and fatigue be seen not as weaknesses, but as the map of a journey you're still walking with courage. You are becoming, slowly, gently, in every breath and every quiet choice to stay present with yourself. You are becoming someone who no longer needs to prove your worth to anyone, including yourself. Someone who no longer seeks to be perfect, but to be real. Someone who understands that strength is not measured by how little you feel, but by how deeply you're willing to feel and still stand tall. The mirror of strength reflects not just the person you are, but the person you are becoming. Someone who can hold both softness and power. Someone who can let go of what was and open to what is. This chapter invites you to stand in that reflection, to breathe into it, to let it settle into your bones. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make it happen all at once. Just stand still for a moment and let yourself see what's true. I am still here. I am still becoming. And I am more than I ever thought I could be. This is your quiet power. This is your steady strength. It doesn't need to be loud to be real. It just needs to be yours. So today, let this be your promise to yourself. I see the strength in my reflection. I honor the journey of who I am becoming, and I trust that even when I cannot see it clearly, the light within me has never stopped shining. I see the quiet strength within me. I honor my journey. I trust who I am becoming, and I let that truth be enough for today. Chapter 6. The Sacred Release. Letting go of what no longer serves you. Letting go is an art, a sacred, quiet decision to stop carrying what has long weighed down your spirit. It's not a sudden act of forgetting, nor is it an abrupt closing of doors. It's a gentle, intentional release. a soft unraveling of the knots you've tied around your heart. In this chapter, you're invited to let go of what no longer serves you, not because you're giving up, but because you're giving yourself permission to move forward. Letting go doesn't erase the past. It simply says, I am no longer defined by it. You've held on to so much, often without realizing how much space it was taking within you. Old regrets, unspoken words, relationships that no longer feel alive. These silent burdens can become invisible anchors, keeping you from the lightness you crave. In this sacred release, you're not forced to cut away everything at once. Instead, you're asked to breathe deeply, to feel what still lingers, and to let go with compassion. Release the need to fix what's already done. Release the need to carry the weight of what was never yours to hold. Release the patterns of self-criticism that have stolen your breath for too long. Letting go is a practice of trust, trusting that when you release what doesn't belong, you make space for what does. Trusting that your spirit knows how to hold what is meant to stay and how to set free what isn't. It's a practice of kindness toward yourself, toward the people you've outgrown, toward the dreams that have shifted. You don't have to harden your heart to let go. In fact, the softest release often comes from the most tender place within you, the quiet space that says, I am ready for something new. I am ready for something lighter. As you move through this release, let yourself feel the small griefs that come. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let the silence hold you. And know that in every breath of release, you're not losing yourself, you're finding yourself again. You're peeling away the layers that have hidden your light, and you're choosing to trust that you don't need to carry the past into the present. You don't need to hold on to what no longer echoes your truth. You are allowed to be free. You are allowed to let go. So today, let this be your soft vow. I release what no longer serves me. I honor what was, but I trust what is. I open my hands, my heart, my life to something new. And in that opening, I find peace. I let go with grace. I release what weighs me down. I trust the unfolding of my path, and I honor my freedom. Chapter 7. Breathing new life. Finding calm in the chaos. Life can feel like a whirlwind, a constant rush of noise and demands pulling you in every direction. It's easy to get swept up in the chaos, to feel like you're always bracing, always adjusting, always trying to keep up. But in the middle of that rush, there is always one thing you can return to: your breath. Your breath is the quiet rhythm beneath every storm, the anchor that reminds you, no matter how loud the world becomes, you can always find your calm here. This chapter is about breathing new life into your spirit, even when everything around you feels unsteady. It's about choosing to pause and remember that peace isn't something you find out there. It's something you create within. When you feel overwhelmed, take a moment to stop and breathe, not the shallow breath of survival, but the deep, slow breath of intention. Let it fill your lungs and soften your shoulders. Let it remind you that you are not here to be consumed by the chaos. You are here to move through it with grace. Each breath becomes a gentle mantra. I am safe. I am calm. I am enough. In this simple act, you begin to reclaim your energy. You begin to remember that you are not your stress, not your worries, not the noise of the world. You are the quiet within the noise. You are the calm that holds it all. Breathing new life into yourself is a choice to trust that you can be at peace, even when everything around you feels uncertain. It's a choice to soften into the present moment, to let go of the need to fix or control, and to simply be. In this breath you find a sacred pause, a place where you can rest, reset, and return to the truth of who you are. You are not the chaos. You are the calm, and every time you remember this, you strengthen your spirit. You build a quiet kind of resilience that doesn't need to shout to be real. As you move through this chapter, let yourself breathe deeply. Let yourself feel the steadiness that comes when you stop chasing and start receiving. Let your breath be the bridge between your mind and your heart, the gentle thread that ties you to the present. In the middle of chaos, let your breath be your safe place. Let it remind you that no matter what life brings, you have the power to create calm. You have the power to choose peace. And in that choice you find your strength, not loud, but steady, not forced, but real. So today, let this be your quiet promise. I breathe in calm. I breathe out fear. I am present. I am grounded. And I am exactly where I need to be. With each breath I create peace. I let go of the chaos around me and come home to the calm within. Chapter 8. The Quiet Rebellion, Choosing Peace over Performance. You've spent so much of your life performing, trying to be what the world needed, what others expected, what you thought was required to be seen and loved. You learned to hustle for worthiness, to shape yourself around the edges of other people's comfort. And somewhere along the way you lost the quiet of your own spirit. You forgot that you don't have to earn your place here. You already belong. This chapter is about that gentle remembering, the quiet rebellion of saying, I choose peace over performance. I choose presence over proving. It's not loud or showy, but it's the bravest thing you will ever do. Choosing peace is a quiet act of defiance in a world that celebrates noise. It's the refusal to measure your value by how much you produce, how well you perform, or how seamlessly you fit into someone else's expectations. It's the soft, unwavering decision to measure your worth by how gently you treat your own heart. You no longer chase applause or approval. You no longer bend to fit someone else's mold. You pause, you breathe, you choose to be real, messy, honest, fully yourself. Because peace doesn't come from perfection, it comes from alignment, from trusting that you are enough, even when the world is too busy to notice. In this chapter, you're invited to step off the stage and return to the quiet of your own being, to stop explaining, stop performing, and start listening. What does your heart need? What does your body crave? What does your spirit long for? When you stop performing, you create space to hear the answers. You create space to rest, to breathe, to just be. And in that space, you find a kind of peace that no amount of achievement can give you. The kind of peace that doesn't depend on being seen, but on simply being true. This is the quiet rebellion, the choice to honor your own pace, to trust your own rhythm, to stop pushing yourself to meet every expectation and start trusting the gentle unfolding of your own journey. It doesn't mean you stop caring or dreaming. It means you stop sacrificing your peace for someone else's comfort. You start living for the quiet places within you, the soft places that know, I am enough as I am worthy of rest, I am allowed to move slowly. This rebellion is not about abandoning the world. It's about returning to yourself, fully and without apology. So today, let this be your quiet vow. I release the need to perform. I choose peace as my guide. I honor my own journey, my own breath, my own truth. And in that choice, I find the strength I've been searching for all along. I choose peace over performance. I choose presence over proving. My quiet is my strength, and my truth is enough. Chapter 9. The River of Renewal, Flowing Forward Without Force. Imagine your healing as a river, fluid, patient, and always moving forward. It doesn't rush, but it never stops. It flows around obstacles with a gentle strength, carving new paths even when the way ahead is unclear. This is the river of renewal, the quiet, constant movement of your spirit towards something softer, something truer. In this chapter, you're invited to stop pushing against the current of your life and start flowing with it, to trust that even when you're not sure where the river is taking you, You are always moving in the right direction. Flowing forward without force means releasing the need to control every twist and turn. It means letting go of the idea that you have to have it all figured out to keep moving. It's about softening into the uncertainty, letting the river hold you, and trusting that its course is wiser than your fear. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or your goals. It means allowing them to unfold in their own time, in their own way, like leaves opening in the sun, like roots growing unseen beneath the surface. You don't have to force what is meant to be. You only have to trust the flow and keep showing up, breath by breath, moment by moment. The river of renewal also reminds you that healing is not about erasing what happened. It's about learning to carry it differently. Let your past be part of the riverbed, shaping the current but never stopping it. Let your mistakes be stones that smooth under the constant movement of your own grace. Let every breath be a ripple of forgiveness, every step a gentle return to your own presence. In this flow, you are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by how you choose to keep moving, softly and without force. So today, let this be your quiet promise. I flow forward like a river. I trust the path, even when I cannot see around the bend. I let go of the need to force, and I choose to move with grace. In this gentle flow, you are always becoming more rooted, more open, more at peace with who you are and where you're going. I trust the river of my healing. I release the need to force. I flow forward with gentle strength, and I let the journey unfold with grace. Chapter 10. The Gift of the Wound. Discovering Hidden Wisdom. The wounds you carry may feel like evidence of everything that went wrong, everything you lost or never received. They're the soft places in your spirit that still ache when touched, the echoes of old pain that can feel too tender to even name. But within those wounds lies something sacred, a hidden wisdom that waits to be seen. This chapter is about honoring the gift of the wound, not by dismissing the hurt, but by listening to it, by allowing it to be more than just a scar, more than just a story of what you survived. In the quiet honesty of this chapter, you're invited to see your wounds as portals to deeper knowing, deeper compassion, and a deeper trust in yourself. The gift of the wound is not about glorifying your pain or pretending it didn't cost you something. It's about seeing how every crack, every break, has also let light in. The wound softens you, humbles you. It teaches you to be gentle with yourself, to speak to yourself with the same kindness you've always offered to others. It teaches you to listen, to the quiet voice that says, you are still worthy, you are still whole, even here. It's a reminder that healing isn't about erasing what happened, it's about letting it become part of the way you see the world, part of the way you hold others in their pain. The wound doesn't diminish you, it refines you. It reveals the tender strength beneath your armor, the quiet knowing that you are more resilient than you ever imagined. When you sit with your wounds, when you let them speak, you begin to see the wisdom they hold. You see how they've shaped your compassion, how they've taught you to hold space for others, to listen without rushing to fix. You see how they've deepened your presence, how they've taught you to slow down, to breathe deeper, to be fully here in this moment. And most importantly, you see how they've expanded your capacity to love yourself and others, with a softness that is both fierce and gentle. This is the hidden wisdom of your wounds. They don't make you less whole. They remind you that wholeness was never about being unbroken. It was about being real, being open, and being willing to heal. So today, let this be your quiet truth. I honor the wisdom in my wounds. I see them not as proof of weakness, but as evidence of my capacity to grow, to love, to rise again. Let your wounds be your teachers, your guides, your quiet companions on the journey of becoming. Let them remind you that even in your most tender places, you are still whole. You are still worthy of every breath, every dream, every moment of peace you choose to claim. I honor the wisdom of my wounds. I trust that they are part of my journey, not the end of it. I am whole, I am healing, and I am enough. Chapter 11. Standing in your fire. Embracing the power of transformation. There is a fire within you, a quiet, steady warmth that has always been there, even when you couldn't see it. It's the light that flickers when everything else feels dark, the spark that says, I am still here, I am still alive. In this chapter, you're invited to stand in that fire, not to be consumed by it, but to let it remind you of your own power. This isn't the fire of rage or destruction, it's the fire of transformation, the gentle, fierce heat that burns away what no longer serves you and lights the way forward. It's the soft glow that says, I am enough, even in my becoming. Standing in your fire means being willing to feel the heat of your own growth. It means letting the old stories you've carried burn away, even when it feels uncomfortable. It means trusting that the warmth of your own truth will guide you, even when the world tries to pull you back into the cold comfort of what you've outgrown. This isn't easy. It asks you to be brave, to stand still, while the parts of you that no longer fit begin to fall away. But in that falling away, something new is born, something truer, something more aligned with the quiet power you've always held inside. Transformation isn't about force, it's about surrender. Letting the fire do what it needs to do. Letting it melt the old defenses, the old fears, the old doubts that have kept you small. Letting it illuminate the parts of you that have been waiting to be seen. Your strength, your softness, your quiet wisdom. In this fire, you are not lost, you are being refined, shaped into a version of yourself that is not afraid to be seen, not afraid to take up space, not afraid to claim your own life as sacred. The fire doesn't destroy you, it burns away what was never truly you. So today, let this be your soft vow. I stand in my fire. I let it warm me, guide me, and transform me. I trust that even in the heat of my own becoming, I am safe, I am held, I am whole. Let the fire remind you that your journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more fully yourself, more real, more honest, more alive. Let the fire be your companion, your teacher, your light, and know that in every breath you take, you are already enough, exactly as you are. I stand in my fire. I trust its warmth and its light. I am becoming more myself with every breath, and I am whole in this transformation. Chapter 12. The Art of Acceptance. Holding space for what is. Acceptance is not a passive act. It's a quiet courage, a soft strength that says, I will meet this moment as it is, not as I wish it to be. It's the gentle art of holding space for your life, exactly as it unfolds. Without forcing, without rushing, without needing to change it all at once. In this chapter, you're invited to practice acceptance, not because you're giving up, but because you're choosing to honor what is real here, now. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop dreaming or growing. It means you find peace in the present, even as you hold hope for what's still to come. Holding space for what is means letting your breath soften into your body, letting your shoulders relax, letting your mind unclench. It means saying to yourself, I see you, I hear you, I trust you. Even when you're still healing, even when you're still learning, because there is a quiet power in not resisting the truth of your own heart, in not trying to force yourself into someone else's idea of who you should be, in simply breathing and letting it be enough. Acceptance is a gentle kind of bravery. It's a choice to be kind to yourself, to let your own tenderness be a place of strength. When you accept what is, you stop fighting yourself. You stop pushing against the tide of your own emotions. You let them flow through you, like waves that rise and fall, never staying forever. You realize that even in your uncertainty, you can be grounded. Even in your confusion, you can be calm, because acceptance doesn't ask you to understand everything. It asks you to trust that you don't have to. It asks you to hold space for the messiness, the beauty, the grief, and the quiet joys of being alive, all at once. And in that holding, you find a kind of peace that can't be shaken by the noise of the world. So today, let this be your soft promise. I accept what is. I trust my own timing. I honor my journey exactly as it is in this moment. Let yourself feel the relief in those words. Let yourself breathe them in like the first deep breath after a long winter. You don't have to force the future. You don't have to prove your worth. You only have to be here, right here with yourself. And in that presence, in that gentle acceptance, you will find the calm you've been seeking all along. I accept this moment as it is. I trust my breath, my timing, and my heart. I am exactly where I need to be, and I am enough. Chapter 13. Roots of Resilience. Grounding yourself in new growth. There is a quiet strength that lives within you, deeper than the noise of your thoughts, deeper than the echoes of your past. It's the part of you that doesn't bend or break when life gets heavy, the roots of your resilience. These roots aren't always visible, but they are always there, anchoring you in the soft soil of your own breath. In this chapter, you're invited to come back to those roots, to let them remind you that no matter how many storms you've weathered, you are still here, still growing, still finding your way back to yourself. Grounding yourself in new growth begins with trust. Trust that even when you can't see the path ahead, your roots will hold you steady. Trust that you don't have to rush to bloom. Growth happens in its own time, its own way. You may not feel it day to day, but every breath you take in gentleness, every choice you make in kindness, deepens those roots. You become more anchored in your own truth, more steady in your own softness, more certain that you don't have to chase healing or force transformation. It's already happening right here, in the quiet places of your spirit. Sometimes, growth can feel like breaking, like shedding old patterns and old fears that no longer fit. It can feel uncomfortable, unfamiliar, even a little lonely. But know this, you are not losing yourself in this process. You are finding a deeper way to be yourself, one that is not defined by the noise of the world or the weight of your past, one that is rooted in who you truly are beneath it all, soft, strong. Let yourself trust that every small act of care, every pause for breath, every gentle word you offer to your own heart is a seed of new growth. Let yourself trust that these roots of resilience will carry you forward, even when you're not sure how. So today, let this be your quiet reminder. I am rooted. I am growing, even when I cannot see it. I trust the quiet power of my own breath, the steady strength of my own spirit. Let yourself ground in this truth. Let yourself feel the calm that comes from knowing you are held, not by the world, but by your own quiet presence. In that presence, you find a kind of peace that no storm can steal. In that grounding, you find a kind of growth that is as gentle as it is powerful. And in that growth, you find yourself, again and again, breath by breath, moment by moment. I am rooted in my own breath. I trust the quiet strength within me. I grow in gentleness, and I am whole in my becoming. Chapter 14. The Light Within. Reclaiming your calm confidence. You may not always see it, but there is a light within you, a soft, steady glow that has never been dimmed, no matter how many times the world tried to snuff it out. This light is your calm confidence, the quiet assurance that you are enough, just as you are. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention. It simply exists, glowing in the center of your chest, waiting for you to remember it. In this chapter, You're invited to reclaim that light, to trust that no matter how many times you've doubted yourself, this light has never left you. It's only been waiting for you to come home to it. Reclaiming your calm confidence begins with letting go of the need to prove. You don't have to be the loudest, the strongest, the most impressive to be worthy. Your worth is not measured by your achievements or your productivity. It's measured by the quiet truth of your own breath, by the soft, unwavering way you keep showing up for yourself, even when no one else is watching. This confidence isn't about never feeling fear. It's about knowing that you can hold fear in one hand and still reach for your dreams with the other. It's about trusting the slow unfolding of your own becoming, even when you can't see the full picture yet. The light within you doesn't need to be loud to be real. It doesn't need to be proven to be felt. It is there in every breath you take in calm, every choice you make from your own center. It's the part of you that says, I trust myself. I trust my journey. I trust that I am allowed to move at my own pace. When you live from this place, everything begins to feel softer. You stop measuring your worth by comparison. You stop dimming your light to fit someone else's story. You begin to glow with your own quiet power, soft, steady, and unshakable. So today, let this be your quiet vow. I reclaim my light. I trust the calm confidence within me. I don't have to perform to be worthy. I don't have to be loud to be enough. My light is my own, and I let it shine, softly and fully, just as it is. In this light, you are whole. In this calm confidence, you are free. I reclaim my light. I trust my quiet confidence. I let it shine softly, knowing that I am enough, exactly as I am. Chapter 15. The Final Return. Power without performance. You've spent so much of your life performing, learning the right words, the right actions, the right masks to wear so you could feel safe in a world that asked you to prove yourself over and over. But here, in this final chapter, you're invited to put down the mask, to rest in the quiet truth that you don't have to perform to be powerful. You don't have to prove to be worthy. Power without performance is the kind of power that lives in your breath, your presence, your soft knowing that who you are, without adornment, without apology, is enough. This final return is a gentle homecoming to yourself, a soft sigh of relief as you realize that you don't have to hustle for your worth or contort yourself to fit into someone else's story. You are allowed to be whole in your quiet. You are allowed to be powerful in your softness. True power is not in how loud you can be, but in how deeply you trust your own presence. It's in the quiet way you hold your own heart when the world is too noisy to hear it. It's in the calm steadiness of your breath when everything else feels rushed. It's in the choice to keep showing up for yourself, softly, gently, without needing to be seen, to know that you matter. This chapter asks you to trust the power of stillness, to believe that you don't have to push or perform to move forward. You can let life unfold at its own pace. You can let your dreams take shape without forcing them into existence. You can let your breath lead you back to yourself, again and again, until you remember that the truest strength is found not in performance, but in presence. In the quiet knowing that you are here, and that is enough. So today, let this be your final vow. I let go of performance. I return to presence. I trust the quiet power within me, and I let it guide me home. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to have it all together to be worthy. You only have to be here, breathing deeply, holding your own hand with gentleness. In that simple act, you are already enough. You are already powerful. You are already whole. I trust the power of my own presence. I let go of performance and return to the quiet strength within me. I am enough, exactly as I am.